It is all part of a high-stakes, high-energy final 48-hour push to Election Day in one of the most hotly contested battleground states in the entire country. I think Ariana put it really well there. She said this throws this case into limbo, and that is what happens here. Come on in, we have results, and really, let's take a look at how we got to these results. And I actually want to show you, we just got a copy. This is the federal indictment. Well, this visit comes just a few weeks before Election Day and just a few days after this storm tore into Georgia. You take a look at where we are right now. We're in the Foxhall neighborhood of Augusta. Everywhere you look, you can see the signs of this storm. But we've been talking not just all day, but really almost every day for the last 2 weeks about these personal connections and personal memories so many people here in Plains have of not only President Carter, but also First Lady Rosalynn Carter. You supported the so-called heartbeat bill here in Georgia. It bans most abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. Do you still support that?
I got the issue of abortion wrong.
Here is some more important context. Republicans need some Democratic votes to advance any legislation in the Senate. Even though Republicans have a majority, they don't have enough to get it done all on their own. To see the kids that you coached grow up and then become coaches alongside you, how does that hit your heart?
Well, I mean, it makes me understand that my days are numbered.
If that is the case, it would be a rapid development in a case that has, up to this point, taken a long time to get here, on a long road to get here. Grace King has been covering it all along the way. She joins us now live from outside the Fulton County Courthouse with a look at how we got here. Grace. We always end with this question. What are you most optimistic about? And I want to draw your attention right now to one of Georgia's prominent bellwether counties. This is Baldwin County. We're looking at the 2020 results here. This time in 2020, Joe Biden, the Democrat, carried this Baldwin County bellwether. Let's take a look now, though, at the 2024 results. You see things have flipped. Donald Trump flipping Baldwin County, flipping that bellwether county, carrying both Baldwin and Georgia and the country. We talked today to two political experts, one Democrat, one Republican, about how we got here and what this means for their parties.
Relief and a lot of validation.
Remarkable, honestly, and shocking, because we had gone in thinking it was going to be a much closer horse race than it really turned out to be.
Fal Sabak, a Democratic strategist, and Spiro Amburn, a Republican strategist, reacting to a dramatic election night in Georgia. What worked for Republicans in Georgia this cycle?
Turnout. Donald Trump expanded those margins in rural counties. He shaved Joe Biden's margins from 2020.
Amburn arguing the race came down to two key issues.
It was the economy and public safety.
Democrats now begin the process of trying to make sense of a stinging loss in a state they hoped to carry. What went wrong for Democrats in Georgia this year?
We knew that women were going to come out in full force. I think just hitting them with just the abortion talking point might have not gotten them to where we needed them to be, which was to vote for us.
But Sabak cautions just hours after the race was called, it's still too early to point to one singular tipping point.
It's not just one factor is going to get you to 50%. You have to have a bunch of different variables.
For Republicans, now their attention turns to Inauguration Day and what happens next.
Trump has to govern. I think he has a golden opportunity.
Both strategists agreed on this. It is a margins game. And while Trump carried Georgia decisively this year, we're still a closely divided state with about 98% of results reported right now in our state. The former president and projected president-elect looks to carry the state by about 2%. 2017, moments before prison break.
Putnam County 911.
We have a GDC bus. The officer has been shot.
Ricky Dubose and an accomplice killed two Georgia Department of Corrections officers, escaped a prisoner transport bus in Putnam County, and went on the run, leading law enforcement on a multi-state manhunt.
Oh, man, there's somebody going on high-speed train.
It was a non-stop 72-hour crime spree until they were arrested.
Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills says officers finally caught the pair in Tennessee and brought them back into Georgia custody. Dubose was sent here, the Georgia Department of Corrections Special Management Unit in Jackson, about 45 miles south of Atlanta.
The SMU unit is by design to house the baddest of the bad.
But Okmulgee Judicial Circuit District Attorney Wright Barksdale says problems with DuBose continued.
So these are some of the items that we were able to confiscate off of Ricky DuBose while he was at SMU.
Drugs, knives, and phones. DuBose was able to get all of them. Images provided by Barksdale show DOC employees using a buzzsaw to cut into DuBose's cell door, revealing stashed contraband. Another video, a hidden phone delivery.
This is somebody who killed 2 law enforcement officers.
Absolutely.
Was housed at what's supposed to be the most secure detention facility in the state of Georgia, and he was still able to get all of that contraband.
Correct.
Internal records show 20 SMU corrections officers have been fired since 2021. It is not an isolated problem. Barksdale says a lack of competitive pay for guards has led to cratering staff levels and less qualified applicants across the entire state prison system.
Those guards are not running the prison.
According to him, corrections officers are sometimes tasked with guarding an entire unit of inmates by themselves. Like in this 2017 surveillance video captured inside Central Georgia's Hancock State Prison, seconds before a murder.
There was one female officer on a dorm with 96 inmates. She weighed probably 130 pounds. She had a radio, a set of keys, and a baton.
As 4 inmates attack another prisoner, she runs for safety.
She was 10 feet away. There was nothing she was gonna be able to do about that.
She was all alone.
Yeah.
State records show that from 2012 to 2022, the number of Georgia correctional officers dropped by more than half, putting lives at risk.
You know, when your loved ones go away, you think somewhat, you know, what you see on TV or hear or whatever, that they would be safe, but they're not safe.
Michael Archer's 26-year-old son, Ryan, had just 6 months left on his sentence when he was killed in December at Coastal State Prison near Savannah.
He's ready to move forward. Just didn't get his chance.
Many never do. According to records obtained from the Department of Corrections, nearly 100 Georgia prison inmates were killed between 2021 and 2023.
What needs to be done to make this situation better?
I wouldn't be past something as extreme as the National Guard coming in.
But for Youtha Dorsey's son, Martell, even that wouldn't be enough. She says he'd been approved for early release and was waiting for paperwork that would never come. The DOC confirms he died here in November at South Georgia's Calhoun State Prison.
Our loved one made a mistake in life. They had to go away and do their time, but at the same time, they deserve to come home.
Now, the actual chances of the National Guard getting involved here are probably pretty slim. But DA Wright Barksdale is making the larger rhetorical point that, in his view, the situation inside Georgia's prisons has reached a crisis. That's why he's asking state leaders to raise pay standards for guards in the hopes of replenishing their ranks and making the situation inside our prisons safer for everyone. For the 11 Alive investigators, I'm Zach Merchant.
So we are just north of Dahlonega on a private water trout fishery.
I can almost feel your blood pressure go down as you get close to the water.
Always. You know, closer I get, more I hear the water, calmer I get. So then it's time to go to work.
What does a perfect day on the water when you're guiding look like?
Despite most people think it's not catch 100 fish. I like to see the growth. I like my repeat customers, but I feel like after a day on the water with me, if they can't get out and be fully confident and efficient on their own, I didn't do my job.
What keeps you coming back?
Oof, feels like home, more so than my house does. You know, I try not to keep my house cozy because I want to leave it. And whether it be this river or any river across the world, they could speak a completely different language around me. The river speaks my language.
We've got an election coming up in November. When you look ahead to it, what worries you the most?
Man, right now it's who's going to be in it. Kind of just with the recent news and all that stuff.
Right now, your biggest focus is just on who's actually going to be on the ballot.
Yeah, the ballot's the biggest question mark. Like, you know, will Biden make it there? What happens with Trump's legal stuff?
What are the 2 biggest issues that will govern how you vote?
The foreign policy stuff, the foreign relations stuff. If someone comes out and has a clear plan on what they're going to do, what they want to do, I would like to see that, and that would probably entertain my vote more than anything else. And then secondary would kind of be the economy stuff. Maybe it doesn't affect my business as much with, whether it's high inflation or not, but I know for the guys that work for me and all that, it's it gouges them really hard, just gas prices alone. It's not a short drive to get anywhere here in North Georgia for the most part, so that really chews into their wallet and, is an annoyance to me as well.
You told us about what worries you. You told us about your big issues. We always end on this question. What are you optimistic about?
I like the fact that more people are questioning just the narratives they're told. It leads into a healthier system.